with an intention to permanently resolve any type of implicit health challenge. Implicit health is an umbrella term that covers emotional health, mental health, behavioral health, or the health of your habits and decision-making tendencies and abilities, your action patterns that are coming from the body-mind, much more so than from the actual self of you, because 80% or more of decisions actually come from unconscious procedural memories stored way beyond awareness. Okay, so implicit health is an umbrella term that covers emotional health, mental health, behavioral health, more efficiently described as action patterned health or well-being. And it also affects your relationship with self and others, including abilities for communication within your own being and with other people in every type of scenario. And it can even affect spiritual health or your connection with the greater energy at large of life itself, however you wish to describe it or whatever resonates. And so whenever maneuvering an intention to permanently resolve any type of implicit health challenge, you're going through something that you're ready for it to be done. Maybe it's been happening for weeks or months. Maybe it's been happening for years or decades. Maybe you've been experiencing it your whole life and you can't even imagine what life would be like if you weren't experiencing life with this implicit health challenge. And this could be anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsions, difficulties with mind-body connection, difficulties resonating or connecting with your body, eating disorders, psychosis-styled experiences, dissociation, traumatic stress-related experiences, or they could be something that doesn't really have a categorical term, just a chronic feeling that comes up, or a chronic thought pattern that comes up, or a chronic habit that comes up that you just want to change because you think life would be better if it was a little bit different. Okay, so whenever there's an intention to permanently permanently resolve an implicit health challenge, we always want to explore the correlation between navigation and regulation in the body-mind in affiliation with the well-being of attachment needs. Is the implicit health challenge coming from navigation or regulation, or equally from both? Okay, so for example, bipolar disorder is really just a disruption of regulation. Bipolar disorder, for example, is really a disruption of regulation in the body-mind. Regulation. Something like anxiety or depression is a disruption of both navigation and regulation. Obsessive compulsions are much more a disruption of navigation, with regulated disruptions being secondary. And so it's helpful to actually pinpoint, is the navigation being disrupted, which means that it's coming from unconscious memories that are projecting styles of thoughts, feelings, and action patterns and interpretations of reality, or is the disruption coming from regulation, where brain waves or brain hemispheres or brain regions or brain lobes or nervous systems or any of that stuff is actually disrupted in its regulatory protocols. And then we can actually use that information and play with it. And so if we are trying to bring balance to regulation, we can work with navigational systems to actually influence the regulation. And if there's a disruption in navigation, we can actually touch on regulation to work with the navigation, okay? Because sometimes going straight to the root of the problem is a little too much. You're like, oh my God, I found the core of everything that's happening, but it's so intense. How do I actually reach in and make a difference when there's so much? And so you can actually come in from the other side of the system, from the body-mind. Okay, and these are all concepts that I've been teaching and developing myself through my own self-healing journey and implicit revelations case study. And so they're really just phenomenal things, really helpful, really empowering, and to simplify the neuroscience of psychology and apply it in such an effortless, enjoyable, and tangible way can really change the healing journey game of life. So if you are experiencing a chronic implicit health challenge and you have an intention to permanently resolve it, you're like, I'm done, this has been going on, and I'm ready to experience myself and my life without this. I'm ready to know what it would feel like to live in my mind without all these thoughts. I'm ready to know what it would feel like to feel feelings without all these negative emotions bombarding my reality. I'm ready to know what it feels like to experience life through balanced brain hemispheres. I'm ready to know what it feels like to move through life without having all these somatic responses to stimulus. I'm ready to know what it feels like. Okay, that is part of what I'm here to assist with. And so you can explore, is the root cause from navigation or regulation? And there's a specific way to tell that, and it's something that I serve as a teacher and a guide through my concepts so that I can guide you through deciphering that and teach you some ideas so that you'll have the insights moving forward. And then once you know what the actual cause of it is it coming from unconscious memory projections? Is it coming from chronic patterns of dysregulation? Where is it actually coming from and why? And how does it relate with attachment well-being? We always want to go back to the foundational systems of the body-mind, which is the well-being of specific attachment systems and internal needs throughout 4 specific systems. And again, these are all concepts that I've been developing through my implicit relations case study and self-healing journey that have created miracles in my life and in the lives of those that I share this work with. And so and so we can pinpoint the underlying cause and actually know where it's coming from, and then from that space of expanded insight and awareness have a better opportunity to maneuver it. Okay, if there's really severe disrupted regulation, how do we actually come in and shift that? If there's these patterns of disrupted navigation, how do we actually rewire this so there's permanent transformation in these experiences of self and life? Please explore more through other of my content creations. I have lots and lots of libraries of free gifts, lots and lots of libraries of free gifts. You can find out so much information through those libraries. You can have tools and practices and insights and understanding of all these different types of things that might be going on. So many libraries and free gifts and downloads. And then if you want to dive deeper, I do offer sacred soul sessions through one-time connection calls. That wind is dancing. One-time connection calls, and then I also have multi-month personalized programs, including a 6-month personalized program with an intention to permanently resolve any type of implicit health challenge. You can find out more about everything that's included and some of the things that this program has the capacity to assist in creating permanent healing resolution for. We're creating a foundation for that. In all my different downloads, I have free introductory playbooks for each of my offerings, so you can find out all of the amazing details there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I'm so grateful you're here, and I'm so proud of you for taking that next step forward in your own healing journey.